champion, and based on what we've witnessed over this past fortnight, a contender for many years still to come. Ladies and gentlemen, our runner-up, Australian Open 2017, Rafael Nadal.
Well, good evening, everybody. First of all, just can say congrats to Roger and all his team. Just amazing the way that he's playing after such a long time without being on the tour. No? So that's just very difficult to make that happen. So for sure, you have been working a lot to make that happen. So well done, congrats. Feel very happy for you. Well, for me personally, have been a great month. You know, for the first time in my career, I spent one full month here in Australia, starting playing in Brisbane, then playing the Fast Four in Sydney, and now being here for the last 3 weeks. No, so just amazing month for me. I really enjoy it a lot. This beautiful country, fantastic people, supporting a lot, all the events. Supporting a lot, all the events in every event that I played. The atmosphere have been unforgettable, and especially here in Melbourne, always going to be in my heart. No, it's a great 2 weeks for me. I had some hard time too without having the chance to compete at full conditions. Some injuries. Well, it's not new that for me, but. But it's still always tough when it happens. No? So I worked very hard to be where I am today. I fight it a lot during the both weeks. Today, I think was a great match. Probably Roger deserved a little bit more than me. So I just. I just gonna keep trying. No, I feel that I am back at very high level. So I gonna keep fighting during the whole season to have a great season, and for sure to come back here for so many years and keep trying to have this trophy with me. That is the third time that I have this. This is beautiful, but. But it's still much better, the trophy, so I'm going to keep trying hard to have the trophy again with me in the future. Just can say thank you very much, all my team. You know, we have been working hard during a lot of months to be where we are, so just thank you for all the support, family, people, everybody who made possible that I am here again. So for sure, all the sponsors who made possible this amazing event. No? One of the best the best events of the world of sport, without a doubt. So many thanks to all the sponsors, and especially Kia, that is my personal sponsor after since 2004. So just thank you very much for the support. And last thing, just many thanks to all the people who make possible the event, all the organization, President Craig Tidley, who is one amazing tournament director, everybody who make possible this, probably the best organized event of the world for the players. No? So just many thanks to all Tennis Australia for a huge support to the players, and I think to the fans too. No, so just I let Roger give the trophy, and see you next year. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Rafa, well done. Such a gracious and humble champion. Our congratulations again to our tournament runner-up, Rafael Nadal. So, ladies and gentlemen, to our Australian Open champion for 2017. A legend who tonight featured in his 100th Australian Open match. Undoubtedly, one of the most popular players, if not the most popular player ever to grace us here at Melbourne Park. And now, the holder of 18 Grand Slam singles titles, five of which have been won right here on Rod Laver Arena. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2017 champion of the Australian Open, Roger Federer.
Thank you, guys. I'm out of words, and Rafa said so many great things, but of course, I'd like to also congratulate Rafa on an amazing comeback. I think when we were in... I don't think we both, either one of us, believed that we were going to be in the finals of Australia when we saw each other at your academy, you know, sort of 4 or 5 months ago. And here we stand in the finals. You know, I'm happy for you. I would have been happy to lose too, to be honest. The comeback was perfect as it was. So tennis is a tough sport. There's no draws, but if there was going to be one, I would have been very happy to accept the draw tonight and share it with Rafa, really. I know everybody says they work very hard. I did the same. I try really not to shout about it because we got some serious legends and toughest guys in the game, like in Rafa, here tonight. So, but I'd just like to thank my team because it's been a different last 6 months. Let's be honest. I wasn't sure if it was going to make it here, but here I am, and we made it. So I'd just like to thank you guys. Thank you. Danny, my wife, Severin, Ivan, Tony, everybody who's been on the ride, Pierre, my fitness coach at home. It's been amazing, so thanks for that. And of course, there is also Rafa's team. You guys worked so hard over the years and deserve everything but more. So I wish you continued success this year and for hopefully many more years to come. You know, stay on the tour, keep playing Rafa, please. Tennis needs you. So thanks very much for everything you do. Then I'd like, of course, to thank all the sponsors. You know, this building is amazing. Thanks, Rocket, for being here tonight. Again, with your presence, it's always wonderful to have you here. It means so much more to both of us. And of course, you guys fill up the seats and make it just a wonderful experience for us, the players, to fight harder and harder and one more time and one more time. So it's because of you guys that we are standing here tonight as well, and we fought like we could, and yeah, just you guys made it super special for me always. You guys have been amazing over the years. I've been coming here for almost 20 years now, and I've always enjoyed it, and now my family does too, so thank you for that. Yeah, and I hope I didn't forget anything, but just thanks again for everything to everybody. And of course, I hope to see you next year. If not, you know, this was a wonderful run here, and I can't be more happy to have won tonight. Thank you very much, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure I speak for everyone in the stadium and indeed watching wherever you might be. It's a night we will never forget. Our congratulations and thanks to our runner-up, Rafael Nadal, and our congratulations to 18-time Grand Slam champion, Roger Federer. That does conclude our official presentation. There will be, as is customary, a photo opportunity, and then of course Roger will complete a lap of honour with the Norman Brooks Challenge Cup. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for being here, and congratulations again to Rafa and Roger.
And thanks to Basil Zemplas there, expertly conducting the MC job. Never an easy thing at the end of such an incredible contest, with Roger Federer triumphing over Rafael Nadal in 5 extraordinary sets. Just to repeat the scoreline, it was 6-4, 3-6, 6-1, 3-6, 6-3 in 3 hours and 38 minutes of utterly enthralling tennis on centre court. And we'll stay on for a bit here on AO Radio, because we could give us a chance to have a little bit of a chat here about what this all means in the bigger scheme of things. And I'm well placed to have Kate Kearns and Richard Evans with me. Richard, you've been covering tennis a long time. What does it mean for Roger to be right back at the pinnacle of the sport? Not world #1, but winning major singles titles.
Well, it's huge for him, and it's one of the great stories of sport. It's one of the great stories of tennis. But just listening to them and looking at them now and thinking of what they have produced over their careers, and it's not culminating here, because I'm sure they're not going to go away. We're going to see more of this. But has a sport ever had 2 better representatives? It's just amazing that tennis is so fortunate to have 2 people, 2 personalities, 2 characters like Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal, because they're just great people. They're great champions, they're amazing athletes, and they have a genuine affection and respect for each other, which shows the rest of the world how to be highly competitive, because they both hate to lose, but to be able to embrace whatever fate has for them and to put their arms around each other. And you know, I genuinely believe, Kate, that when Roger said he'd be happy to have a draw tonight, I think that's genuine.
Yeah,
I
totally agree, Richard.
I think they have such respect for each other. Their whole lives are wrapped around each other, and have been for the past 15, whatever it is, years. And sport is just so lucky to have these guys.
Yeah.
And the people here will never forget this. I'm sure people watching on television, listening to us on radio, will never forget this match, because it brought 2 of the game's greatest players, maybe the game's 2 greatest ever players, with due respect to the little redhead we've just seen standing, making them both laugh on the podium, called Rod Laver, who was sensational in his day. We move ahead in sport. Everything gets more difficult, everything gets more powerful, everything gets faster, and these 2 we thought had taken a back seat, because there are 2 other guys who we can't forget, called Andy Murray, world #1, and Novak Djokovic, world #2, who didn't quite make it this fortnight, but believe me, they're going to be back.
Absolutely.
And they're going to mix it with this couple of amazing personalities, and tennis is just so lucky, Kate.
Oh, it's amazing, and you're quite right. The reason we have seen these 2 playing off in finals for such a long time is because of Novak and Andy. And now they would have been, I think, watching this match tonight and thinking, my word, we haven't done with them yet, have we? We've still got some work to do.
Not gone by a long way. To both of you, was there ever a time when you doubted that Federer would win this 18th major?
I thought he had a good chance. I've always felt that he had his best chance at Wimbledon, and I've said it tonight, and I've always said it, you need a little bit of luck.
Yeah.
But when you think back on this particular championship, he hasn't had a great deal of luck. He hasn't needed a great deal of luck. It was his own skill and determination that got him out of 1-3 in the 5th set against Rafael Nadal.
Sure. And saw him get past Burdick and Nishikori. He didn't have an easy draw.
Top 10
He
players.
did not have an easy draw.
No.
He had a terrible draw.
He was
for
delighted to avoid Murray.
Yes,
I'm sure.
Yes, but you know, for someone coming back for 6 months, I mean, you know, Kate, you put down your competitive racket for 6 months, and you do not expect, and he didn't expect, to walk back on court and start striking the ball with such crispness, so cleanly.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked like the real deal from day one.
I wonder, did that take the pressure off him coming into this, Richard, that he had quite low expectations about where he was with his tennis, that he would probably be the French or, like you said, Wimbledon, where he's more likely to make his move this year, coming back from injury. So he sort of came in free-flowing. Really, if you have a look at some of the stats in terms of, he was the 3rd best server in terms of aces here at the Australian Open. I think around the same for winners hits. So he was striking the ball perfectly. And the way that he attacked the Rafa game tonight, I mean, it was a real change-up.
He's just handed the cup to Ivan Lubicic, who will be absolutely thrilled to have been at Roger's side throughout these last few months. What a great career move it was for him.
They were just passing it a bit further back in the crowd, and then I think they thought wiser of it. Thought, hang on,
might not see it again.
This is quite expensive. We shouldn't just pass it around. We better give it back to Roger so he can do his lap of honour.
Safely back in his hands now.
Let's just reflect, because we're here and we watched it. Federer's 1-3 down in that final set. He's injured, although he's starting to move more freely. How did he turn that around against Nadal?
I'm not totally sure. I'll have to look at the tape again. I mean, it was a couple of those amazing sweeping cross-court backhands that he had the courage to go for.
Yes.
The forehand was erratic all night.
But it hit some winners, didn't it?
But in the end, it came up for him. He was still making a few mistakes off it right at the end. But he got out of it, and once again, when he needed a first serve, he found a first serve. Because he was break points down right at the end, and it was just such a swift turnaround. It was a swift turnaround in all the sets.
Yeah, it was.
Somebody was on top, and then boom, the other guy was on top.
Nadal's game crumbled a bit for a 10-minute period, didn't it? He missed a number of shots that you'd normally expect him to make, and he missed them badly, and then there were double faults thrown in. That game he was broken was a bad.
Yeah.
It's almost like he did get a little bit tight getting back towards the finish line.
That was the other factor. People were saying, who do I think is going to win? And I said, I think it's going to be Roger on 2 counts. One, because of the way he's been striking the ball all through the fortnight. And if you strike the ball as well as Roger Federer can strike the ball, anybody is going to have a problem. The other thing was that even in that great victory over Grigor Dimitrov, he was making some pretty big errors. Unlike Rafa, balls flew out off the forehand by 4 or 5 feet. And I thought, if that's going to happen, he's got a bit of a problem.
And it did happen in that game when he was broken. But to go from 3-1 up and to find yourself losing the set 6-3, that's got to be really tough, hasn't it, for Rafa to take? It's got to be really, really hard.
He's bitterly disappointed, but he's such a great guy, and he'll be happy for Roger. And as we watch Roger leave the court now and walk down that avenue where all the past champions have got their sketches and the...
At one point it was 122 points all on the points won, if you remember. So the closing chapter of that was 150 to Federer, 139 to Nadal.
That's quite a big gap in the end.
And that was the second half of the final set where it changed around. And as far as the breaks went, in the end there were 6 breaks, of course, to Federer and only 4 to Nadal.
Look at the winners.
And the winners count 73 winners to Federer, just 35 for Nadal.
Yeah.
The unforced errors, 57 for Federer. So The ratio there, 73 to 57. For Nadal, 35 winners to 28 unforced, so significantly better for Federer than.
So it
than
tells
Rafa.
you that Roger Federer had the guts to go for it.
Yeah,
he was going for winners. He knew he had to.
That's what I think the turnaround was, Richard. He kept his attacking play up all night. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, but he continued down that road, and in the end he got, as you said, that break back in the fifth set, and then just went on a roll.
It's so much a game of courage and psychology, this game of tennis.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, as the great Lou Hode said to me more than once, standing at his bar in the Campo de Tennis down in the south of Spain. I mean, and Lou Hode was a guy who was so strong. He had all the physical capabilities you could ever ask for, but he said, mate, it's all in the mind. It's all in the mind. And he's right. And last 2 nights ago, when the fifth set was anybody's for the taking, Rafa Nadal took it by going in and hitting a couple of perfect volleys, which is not what his instincts tell him to do. But he knew he had to do something at that stage to stop this terrific young player who has got all the talent you want in the world. And they were in a fifth set, and Dimitrov was fit as a fiddle, and Nadal said to himself, I got to do something. And he did, and he got in and he hit a couple of peachy volleys.
And he couldn't do it tonight, Rafa.
No.
He couldn't do it tonight.
Well,
we didn't see him at the net.
He was playing
very
a different
often.
player.
He was playing a vastly different player. Total net point 1, 29 of 40 for Federer, just 10 of 12 for Nadal.